Hello all and welcome, and I am the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Den, where it's 100% raw, 100% real, 100% of the time, baby! Hooah! So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. So let's jump right into it, shall we, with this video, and then we'll get into the explanation of what's going on.
She gives herself 2 uppercuts to her face and clutches her cheek. She then checks her handiwork in the mirror. Seemingly satisfied with her self-inflicted punishment, Asma eagerly waits for the lift door to open. She takes off down the hall and into the street to call
police. So what was that about? Well, devastated husband calls for his wife to be deported back to Morocco because she tried to frame him for assault by punching herself in the face in a lift before begging police for help as he spends $20,000 to clear his name. So what you saw there was a crazy Wayman beating herself up in the elevator right before she ran out into the street to call police, supposedly in a frenzy because her husband had just beat her up. That's why she had no shoes on in the lift, by the way, because she had just run out of the apartment after he hit her. Yeah. So a man who met his wife on a Muslim dating site, oh boy, has called for her to be deported. All right, men, and women too. If there's any women out there watching, or women if you still call yourself that, do not, under any, well, you know, maybe you women have something to gain, but the man certainly doesn't. It's a hell of a large risk for a guy, but regardless, man, woman, woman, whatever you want to call yourself, do not go out with, let alone date people or marry people on a site, okay? Well, I'm not going to say date, okay? If you're a man, you go out with a broad, you know, you might get some easy tail. You might get some action going on there. But, of course, in the Metoo era, I don't know that it's worth the risk. So, yeah, don't do that, all right? Stay away from these dating sites. They seem to attract crazy broads because you have to ask yourself, okay? If she's an attractive woman, which oftentimes is not the case, or you're seeing a picture that's 10, 15 years old, and you meet her, and it's like, whoa, you don't look anything like the picture. It's really my picture. No fraud. It's just a 20-year-old picture, right? So, yeah, what would a good woman, a woman that was normal and not psychopathic, why would she be on a dating website, right? Okay? Now, man, it's perfectly reasonable, okay? Because women are cherry picking, you know, monkey branching, you know, they're hypergamy, they want the top 20% of men, okay? So men have it harder than ever, all right, in regards to meeting someone. But for women, it's not that difficult. You have to ask yourself, if she's a particularly attractive woman or even mildly attractive, should be very easy for her to get a man, but she can't. This should make you highly suspicious of any woman on a dating website, but especially good-looking ones like this broad. She's not a bad-looking broad. So, yeah, what would she be doing on a dating website? Apparently, that never occurred to this guy. There might be something wrong with her if she has to resort to using a dating website. So, Sydney man Fazil says his Moroccan wife only married him for an Australian visa. What do you think? She was marrying you because she loved you? That's something I never understood. I mean, he must have been desperate or, mesmerized by the poon or something. Why would a guy think that some broad is trolling for some overseas guy living in a Western country for love? No, she wants to get out of whatever hellhole she comes from. He was conferring with a visa specialist lawyer when she got wind of his plan. Right, so what happened was, the backstory, he married her, thought she loved him. Wake up, pal. But it turned out that she didn't. She only married him for a visa, only married him to get into the country, only married him to then become an Australian citizen. He didn't like that, right? He wasn't too happy about that, so he decided to kick her ass to the curb after he found out that she'd essentially used him and didn't really give a crap about him. So she got wind of his plan and confronted him and allegedly punched herself in the face in the lift. I don't know what you mean allegedly. I guess she's being charged with a crime now, so you have to use this term allegedly. I mean, I saw the video. There's no allegedly. She did punch herself in the face. So after thousands of dollars in legal fees, Fazil found footage to clear his name. Yeah. So this poor guy, yes, a man victim. Imagine that, a male victim. Yeah. Wayman never lied. I thought Wayman don't lie. Always believe the Wayman, right? A devastated husband has called for his estranged wife to be deported after she allegedly concocted a plan to frame him for domestic violence. I don't know what this allegedly is about. Stop using allegedly. Whenever it's a man that does something, you ever notice that generally speaking, whenever a man does something, they don't use the term allegedly, right? But whenever a woman does something, we have to reserve judgment, right? Yeah, well, we can't judge prematurely. We have to use allegedly. Yes, due process and all that. So Sydney man Fazil Khan and his wife Azmi met on a Muslim-targeted dating service and had been married for 8 months. Okay, when trouble began brewing in April. They don't tell you what the trouble was, but I'm guessing they got into an argument or something, and she probably told him, I only married you to become an Australian, and your penis is small. You know. The way women use words to try and wound you because, they're not very good at doing it with their fists. They can wound themselves pretty good, obviously, but not you, so, yeah. And, of course, when he found out the truth, he's like, really? Just married me to be an Australian, huh? You don't give a fuck about me. All right, I'm going to kick your ass out of the country. Concerned his Moroccan wife was using him to secure an Australian visa, Fazil turned to a lawyer. Uh-oh! You've threatened her well-being now. She's going to come after you, pal. But when Azmi got wind of his plan, I wonder how she got wind of it. This guy, not too bright, obviously. Fazil said she feared she would be kicked out of the country and threatened him. So, now see what I do to you, he claimed she said. Fazil came home to the couple's apartment one night in April and found it completely trashed. Lovely, lovely. So she trashed it as part of the plan to make it look good, right? So she trashed it, waiting for him to come home. Then he gets home, and then she leaves, beats herself up in the elevator. And then when the cops come up to the apartment, the scene fits the story. It looks like a whirlwind went through their apartment as if there was some kind of physical altercation. She's hurt. He said his wife was waiting for him in the middle of the devastation. You think you're smart about me and you're talking to lawyers. Fazil claimed she said. Come on, can there be any doubt? She's hitting herself in the face in the elevator. Come on. No, that's what she said, all right? I think his word has a little more weight than hers, don't you? He alleges she then rushed out of the apartment and into a lift. Hours later, police knocked on Fazil's door, arresting him and charging him with an assault. This is what I don't understand. Didn't she know there was a camera in the elevator? This is something I don't get. The elevator in my apartment building and in every building I go to, there's a fucking camera there. You can't miss it. It's front and fucking center. What does she think? It's not there? She bashes herself in the fucking face? But baffled Fazil vehemently denied any wrongdoing, spending more than $20,000 in legal fees and trolling through hundreds of hours of CCTV recordings to get to the bottom of what happened in the elevator. Eventually, he found the piece of footage that would clear his name. Good Lord. So footage from inside an elevator shows Azmi allegedly punching herself twice in the face. Yeah. Boy, oh boy. She ran to police with heavy bruising pictured and claimed her husband assaulted her. Could there perhaps have been some kind of behind-the-scenes romance going on? The way this guy's talking about that $20,000, you get the feeling that he's not that wealthy a guy, right? So it could be she was just using him to get into the country and then looking to possibly divorce him at some later date and then be able to stay in the country and get with some new beau who had more money, get her foot in the door. And once she gets her foot in the door, then she's there, she's on Australian soil, and she can hunt for a new, better, wealthier husband. It's always very interesting to me, women complaining about being objectified. When women like this are using the tools they have, they're nothing more than objects, apparently. And they treat themselves as such, and they portray themselves as such to men, and they use the objects that they have to get what they want. So video from inside the elevator shows her punching herself in the face. She allegedly stuck herself twice. I don't know, what do you mean allegedly? I just saw her do it. So allegedly is when you don't know what happened, right? And that is what is being asserted. I saw the video. Why is there any doubt? Why are you trying to create doubt in this story? Oh, because it's a Wayman. It's a Wayman that did something wrong, so we have to try and make her look as guiltless as possible, or we have to let people know, remind people that there's due process here. We can't assume her guilt automatically, even though we saw her doing it. Allegedly. Get out of here. So more footage shows her running from the apartment, asking police for help. She has since gone into hiding, according to Fazil, who is demanding she be sent back to Morocco. Hiding where? See, this is very interesting. So there's clearly a lot here we don't know about. Where could she hide? She's a foreigner, right? She moved in with this guy, living with him, married him. Where could she go? Where could she hide? With a boyfriend, perhaps? How did he know that she only married him to get a visa and eventually become a citizen? He probably found out she was cheating on him. Right when she arrived there in Australia, she probably began trolling, looking for a new, wealthier husband. This is a very, very old story, as old as time itself. I am the victim now. I got used and abused over and over again, emotionally, mentally, financially, you name it. Yeah, I bet it cost a fortune to import this broad from Morocco. Jeez Louise. I'm the victim. She did that, so now it's her turn to face the consequences, he said. Pal, where have you been? Women don't face consequences for their actions, especially attractive women, right? She's going to go before a judge. He's going to look at her. She's going to start crying. Don't send me back to Morocco. It's horrible in Morocco. He'll have pity on her. Oh, you're just an emotional creature. You're a Wayman. Yeah, you're supposed to be equal to men. You're supposed to be same as men, but we all know that's bullshit, right? Something you just say so that you can get all the benefits and privileges of being equal to a man with none of the responsibilities. Never suffer the consequences for your actions, right? Just turn on the waterworks, right? So he'll probably let her stay in the country. Yeah. And she's probably staying right now with her new love interest, who probably has a lot more money than this poor sap. Fazil is now trying to pay off his legal debts and has called for his former bride to be deported. So, yeah, she should be deported. Will she? I doubt it. I doubt she'll be deported. But this is so sad, this poor guy. Let this be a lesson to you gentlemen out there, okay? In the Metoo era, it's very, very dangerous. Very dangerous, okay? To be being with some broad, getting married, especially one you meet on a dating site. Any broad on a dating site is going to have serious issues. Are there exceptions? Are there going to be some normal chicks on this website? Are there going to be normal chicks on some of these dating sites? I guess there must be, statistically speaking, but they're going to be rare, so needles in haystack, essentially, so it's really not worth the risk. Yeah, this is so sad, this poor guy. And look at his picture here. Looks like a decent fellow, probably a working class gentleman. He had a little money saved up. He was doing okay, but probably not good enough for her, right? She deserves more. I'm too pretty. I'm too pretty for you. I can do better than you, even though you haven't yet, right? And you imagine what a psychopath she must be? You imagine what a psychopath this broad must be? I mean, whacking yourself in the face. I've never done anything like this. Who would do something like this? You just have to imagine what's going on in that person's head. What kind of dysfunction do they have, right? They can injure themselves. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Should this woman be deported? Should she perhaps be charged with a crime? Should women who falsely accuse men of crimes go to jail? And should they get the maximum? Anyhow, I am the Realist Philosopher. This is the Realist Den, and I wish you a good day. Take care.